Hey guys, how are you? I am back for round 2. So I've made the salad and I thought, I'm going to make these parcels, and then I thought this is a perfect chance to actually show you how to freestyle some stuff in the Thermomix. So I am back, and I also have my tea, so if my old teacher voice decides to go crackly, I'm all set. But let me show you how to make the most amazing Filo pastries. Now those of you who made the pastries last week, the pie week, you may have leftover Filo, which is why I'm also using it, because it's in the fridge, it needs using. It lasts about 6 days, I think, before they said you should chuck it, so I'm going to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the stuff to go in the Filo, and I've already done one step, which is to steam my chicken. So I got 3 chicken thighs. You could use breast, you could use leftover chicken roast. Slice it up, and I cooked mine in my my simmering basket, it's back there, for 20 minutes on Varoma speed 1. So that's cooked through nicely. I did pre-dice it into chunks. Okay, it's ready, it's up the back. You can see the bowl is still hot. I've tipped out my steaming liquid, and now I'm going to show you how to freestyle this. Now, it's a blog recipe. I found it a long time ago. I just go back to it. I took a screenshot. I took a photo, so I don't even know which one it is, but it's really simple. First things first is an onion, okay, and I have put this in the description today. Then it is 6, okay, you've heard me correct, 6 teaspoons of, 6 cloves of garlic, or in my case, I'm cheating, and I'm using pre-done garlic. Now, just like most of our main meal recipes, now it needs a little bit of oil, and then we're going to chop it. So our chopping speed, where's my oil? Here it is. It's probably about 10-15 grams of oil, whatever you've got. Mine's the rest of my container. So we're going to chop it for just 4 seconds, speed 5. Okay, I'm not putting a timer on, it's starting to count, going to count up, but you'll also see mine's going slow, so it's so hot still. There we go. You can pretty much hear by 4 seconds it's done anyway. Can you see how it's now on 4? Now, to wipe the time off, you actually just swipe it down on a TM6 and it goes back to 0. How cool is that? Or you could hold it down as well for 3 seconds and it goes back to 0 as well. Alright, now I need to cook this off. So chop those onions off. I'm going to cook up 3 minutes. Varoma, just on slow, speed 1.5, 0.5. That'll do me. So while that's happening, what am I going to do? I'm going to start getting my Filo ready. So with Filo, or actually you might want to grab your other ingredients out too. So if you're making, with the spinach and stuff, you want to grab out some spinach, you want to grab 2 eggs, you want to grab some feta. They're the key ingredients that make this amazing. But we've got our Filo. Now, you guys saw me last week cut my Filo from a big rectangle. I cut the end off into it. So I had squares and I had rectangles. The rectangles the other day on the weekend got used for something. I made the pie again, but over the weekend, for the roast pumpkin, feta, tomato, spinach pie. I made it again. So the little strips got used for that. The big squares, we used a portion of them last week for the pie, and now I'm going to use the other portion. So these are going to make our little parcels. That's what they are. I'd love to know if you're watching today, so do say hi if you're on today. So one down we go. Now you either need to butter it, or you need to melt with butter and brush it, or the cheats version, which I love. I don't use this stuff very often, but spray oil, because now all we do is spray. Hopefully not spray the camera as well. Pick up another layer. You can see they've been drying out, not because they're sitting in here, but the fridge. You've got to make sure you wrap them airtight, otherwise they just they don't last, because they're so thin. Oh, the onion, making my eyes water. Alright, 2 layers is all we need. Just gonna open the door. At least the kids have stopped their board game now. They were playing Game of Life before and it wasn't going so well. So I've kicked them out the backyard with their trackies and their jumpers on. Alright, this is cooking off. Now next thing that's going to go into this is we're going to shred our chicken in there. So, who shredded chicken in their Thermomix? When you're watching the replay later, or if you're watching now, let me know. I'd love to know if you know how to shred chicken. You need your reverse button, and it takes 4 seconds. So there is no buying shredded chicken in the deli section, which costs an arm and a leg sometimes. It's so easy. So this has got 45 seconds to go. I'm going to shortcut it in a second because you guys know patience is not my strength. I'm working on it, but let's get this back up here so you guys can see. Alright, 30 seconds. I'm just going to stop it early. So that has mostly cooked off. The onion and garlic, mostly. Alright, could do it a bit longer, but for today's sake, that's okay. Now I'm going to put in my chicken. It's about 500 grams. It's in chunks. I'm just going to use it up the back here. Tip it in out of the simmering basket. Whoops, I didn't put that on very well. And now we're going to shred. So, speed forward, reverse. Please remember your reverse. Now, those of you with the TM6, you may not realise this. Your reverse button is actually on the dial. Look at that glare from my light. There we go. Your speed dial, where it's got the little, what's that called? Blade symbol. If you click on the blade symbol, come back here, it will go reverse symbol, and now your reverse is enabled. Now the only thing you've got to remember with the reverse is if you stop the step, it may well undo the reverse. So you don't want to go to your next step and then chop up your whatever it is if you want it to stir. Okay, so we're going to go 4 seconds on the timer. So let's delete that off. Remember I said swipe it off the screen. 4 seconds. Don't want to over chop, so I am going to do that. Reverse, speed 4. Off it goes. Now it'll take a moment to get to speed because my bowl's hot. Alright, done. We have shredded chicken in there with our onion and garlic. How easy is that? Okay. Oh, the kids are getting noisy. They're having fun out the back there. There we go, shredded chicken. How easy is that? Alright, so now what we're going to do is normally I would say add your spinach and wilt it down in there, but there's at least 2 of my kids who will not eat spinach. So we're going to kind of go a little bit reverse around. We're going to add to that 150 grams of feta that I've just spilt the liquid everywhere. I'm going to just break it into chunks on the way in. It doesn't have to be small, because I am going to put on reverse again to stir it for a second. We want about 150 grams in there. Doesn't matter if it's a little short, a little bit more. Doesn't really matter. Whoop, that's probably a big chunk. Try and break them up on the way in, okay? Alright. There's that in. So there's the feta in. And we need some salt and pepper. Some pepper. Now, I'd normally put a little bit of stock in, but I didn't bring it in with me, so I'm just going to go with some salt. Oops, there's the garlic spoon. Won't need too much because feta, of course, has its own kind of saltiness, brightness to it. I'm just going to put this on reverse for a couple of seconds to break up that feta. So, reverse. I'm just going to do it manually. I'm just going to go speed 2 so it's nice and slow, but not, you don't want it to go crazy because otherwise you'll have nothing left of that feta. Now, if you are doing spinach for the whole family, put your spinach in first, because then you can put it on reverse for 30 seconds. It's going to wilt down with the heat of the chicken. Alright, I don't have that luxury. I need to do it as a separate kind of entity. So it's broken most of that down now in there. Okay, there are some big chunks, but that's okay. I can break them down with a spatula as I go. Now we need 2 eggs. This is going to be your binder. In they go. And mix that through again. Reverse again because dropped my measuring cup. Okay, reverse again because we don't want to make that too much smaller. And I'm going to go 3. Let it get up to speed. I'm listening for it to sound done. It's done. So what I was looking for is kind of a consistent sound. Alright, so it wasn't like bump, 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 but it was quite consistently sounding. That's what I was looking for. Alright, and now that is actually ready to layer on the Fussy Kids one. Alright, so I'm going to layer his. I'm going to layer the first 2, and then I'm going to put the spinach in. I'm going to put it on reverse, and that heat will actually be what cooks that through. So let's do this. Camera. Oh, the camera's gone floppy. There we go. Okay, so get a spoon. Just going to put, now you may need to make the texture smaller. Decide what's going to work for you and your family. Okay, so that's what I'm going for, about that length. Maybe a little bit more on that end. Okay, so now I'm going to put the end over. I'm going to fold this end in. Now, every time you roll it, now by the way, it's easier to do if it's not hot, but I'm going to just go with what I've got here. Give it a spray, and then every time you fold it, then it will kind of combine. There we go. Perfect. And now that is ready. Oh, it needs a bit of a spray on the back there. Let's just get this down to go on the tray. So on the tray at the back here, and you do want to spray them at the end and sprinkle them with sesame seeds. If you want sesame seeds. Doesn't matter if you don't, but if you do. Okay, let me show you the other one, and then I'll do the spinach step, and then and hopefully I've inspired you to give it a go. And if you haven't done manual cooking, I hope you're feeling like you can give it a go. It's really not too hard. Alright, let's do this. I reckon as well, those of you who like to hide veggies, I actually reckon you could hide veggies in this as well. So with that onion step, I reckon you could put a carrot in there, zucchini, capsicum, and actually hide them in so that they're none the wiser that they're in there. There'll be a bit of colour, but that's about it. Alright, fold it over, fold the ends, spray so it sticks to itself, and let's fold. So easy. Alright, let's do let's move this out way up here. Alright, let's put the spinach in. So it says about 130 grams of spinach from memory, 150, but honestly whatever you can fit just about. I might aim for about 100 just because we've already taken some out. 90, a bit more. Alright, put it back on that reverse again. You don't want it on forward, otherwise you're just going to blend it up, which is not a fabulous idea. Whoop, reverse. Speed 3 again. Listening for it to be sounding even. That's about it. Let's have a look at it. Now remembering as well, it will wilt down further as you cook it. Okay, so that's all going to happen as well. Alright. Oh, I ripped that one. Okay. Yep, alright. Needs a bit more stirring. Can you see that? Can we get my spatula and give it a little manual stir? And I'm going to push some of that spinach down into it. Go a bit longer on reverse. Sticky beef in the hole as well to see what it looks like. Alright, that'll do us. Alright, now, remember, I'm just going to show you what, oh no, you can't see. I haven't got the right camera on. Anyway, you swipe it off. Remember to delete it back to 0. Okay, let me do this last one to show you. So I reckon this will make about 6. You might get a 7. I mean, it depends on your chicken and how much you use, and I guess the spinach will bulk it as well. So really depends. But in with the edge, like that, like that. This one was a bit smaller. Give it a spray so it's roll it up. Now don't forget, or please remember, as I would be told, spray the top or butter the top and put sesame seeds on it on the tray as well. There you go, guys. I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a fantastic afternoon. I hope you've taken some skills away for your Thermomix. I hope you'll give manual cooking a go. Freestyling is what I like to call it, because it is so achievable and doable, is that a word? And you're TM5 or TM6, even if you've got guided cooking. Alright, take care. Let me know if I can help in any way with your Thermomixing. That's what I'm here for, to help you get the most out of a Thermomix. And I'll see you tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you then. Take care till then. Bye, guys.